it's time to make a response again in light of these seemingly never-ending campaigns, and thereby the never-ending campaigns to the public are also ramping up, and not just the persecution of me. Because after all, the state arbiters of the program are using me as the boogeyman which they justify this entire global social engineering and intelligence operation on. Despite it being global, and despite that I'm not of any importance to almost anyone, and yet they are managing to build their entire propaganda and information campaigns around my supposed existence. It is just completely ludicrous, and it just shows and proves how completely fraudulent the broadcasted propaganda campaigns that are being perpetuated on a daily basis is. It is completely fraudulent, and I literally have no say, sway or role in any of it, despite I'm featuring continuously as the protagonist in all of their virtual movie fabrications and endless talk radio that they are broadcasting, and everybody and their grandmother is repeating endlessly on a daily basis, and everything in connection with this social engineering and intelligence operation, which huge portions of the Western world predominantly are under, and are literally, people are literally being micromanaged through this program and through the concept of me being the boogeyman, and thereby the people's and the government's persecution of me in these regards is completely above board and justified. And obviously they are, anybody who has that notion that that the propaganda campaigns and their claims and allegations have any merit to them, or have any resemblance of truth, are obviously completely indoctrinated and brainwashed, because it is glaringly obvious how the program's propaganda is such a work of fiction, and that is precisely why you're never seeing any material actions happening in a program. You're only watching the state arbiters of the program's never-ending virtual movie fabrications, and you're hearing about these fabrications on a continuous basis by the pure and unadulterated regurgitations that is going on, as I say, by everybody and their grandmother, and that is still what's going on. And I am, as I have said previously, trying to change this somewhat by taking active measures of my own, and I'm actively seeking to be interviewed by the police in relation to the state arbiters' claims and allegations against me, which they are making public to the world, and have been doing so for 12 years. But I have yet to be interviewed. I have yet to be made aware of any of the allegations which they are using to justify this program on. And I'm obviously going to continue my efforts, but these efforts are going on in writing, and until there is a kind of conclusion, not that I'm any illusion that there ever will be any conclusion to any of it, but until I get some definitive answers from the relevant authorities that I can document, I'm not gonna highlight everything that I'm doing in these regards, other than to say, as of yet, they are not willing to interview me. As of yet, they're not making me aware of the allegations which they are using to justify this entire global social engineering and intelligence operation on. And instead of being hauled in for questioning and being arrested and charged and what have you, they are again just ramping up their information campaigns, which are in fact psyops or psychological operations that are being run against the public, and the public is being normalized to accept that the rule of law no longer exists, and the state and their intelligence agencies are here to micromanage the public and to take away their rights and freedoms, because people can't think or act for themselves. And that is basically what's happening, and it's being and it's happening through the existence of the program and people's willingness to follow this never-ending bullshit and nonsense. But here are some statements of fact, and I'm still waiting, as I say, for something material to happen.